If you know anything about the global smartphone market, especially in Asia, Tecno is definitely a known name. It is one of the brands of a Chinese tech giant Transsion Holdings, whose products are popular in Africa and starting to make a name for themselves in Asia. Previously, I was impressed by the K-Mon series, which is a huge seller and has a very creative design in the industry. However, there is also a Phantom line which has more or less been spun up into its own separate entity, one that aims to deliver truly flagship devices and experiences. As the basic model in the Phantom X2 series, compared with the first generation Phantom X released in 2021, it still has a very much improved, more sophisticated design, and the starting price is less than $500. So let's see if this Phantom X2 can grab the cake from the hands of other well-known brands. Before we talk about the design of other aspects of Phantom X2, let's check the packaging. Just like the Pro version, it's a very high-end looking box with a slide-out design. Besides the phone itself, we can see that there are a lot of accessories, including a 45-watt charger, a Type-A to Type-C USB cable, a warranty card, and a manual, all of which are very common. But in addition, Tecno gives us two very useful gifts, a headphone with Type-C connector and a specially designed case. Yes, it has an integrated kickstand, so you do not need the help of additional tools when you want to watch videos on a flat surface. The Phantom X2 continues some of the excellent design of its predecessor and has made some improvements. The curved AMOLED screen now reaches 6.8 inches for the wider field of view. The number of front cameras is reduced to 1, and it is now located in the middle top section of the screen, which is a more mainstream design and reduces visual distractions. You might be worried about its selfie quality, but let's talk about that later. Like its big brother, the Phantom X2 has a very striking back cover, mainly because of the huge camera module. To be honest, when I first saw some early renders of Phantom X2 series, I thought it was a random rumor, but when you hold it in your hands, you realize it's not so unreasonable and is indeed memorable. As I mentioned at the beginning, their K-Mon line has many beautiful designs, but perhaps the engineers found that the really hard thing was to make one product stand out, so they finally decided to try some rather polarizing designs. Controversial parts aside, the Phantom X2's build quality is still outstanding and elegant. The back cover curves up nicely into the middle metal frame, the same way that display does on the front. This provides a very comfortable holding feel, and thanks to the evenly distributed particles on the surface, you never have to worry about getting fingerprints or other stains on back cover. The Phantom X2 is with a 6.8-inch edge-curved AMOLED display. Compared with its predecessor, the most significant improvement is not the size, but the refresh rate. The global 120Hz refresh rate can provide you with a true flagship visual and touch experience, whether in web browsing or gaming. The Phantom X2 has an under-screen fingerprint reader that works very quickly and accurately, and with the facial recognition, it provides a very seamless unlocking experience. In terms of wireless connectivity, the Phantom X2 has a dual-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.3. There is FM radio on board as well as NFC. The only thing I can complain about in this part is the absence of IR emitter. Compared to its predecessor, the Phantom X2 has a significant improvement in photography, as it is equipped with a 1.7-inch 64-megapixel main camera. The sensor size is a little smaller than the mainstream flagship phones, but has more pixels. And it also has a 13-megapixel wide-angle camera to capture magnificent scenes. Here are some photos taken at different times and places for your reference. In terms of selfies, although it does not have dual cameras, with the help of intelligent camera AI, you can still get detailed portrait with nice depth of field. Many brands offer a weaker processor in the base model to differentiate it from the Pro version, but Tecno is very fair in terms of performance. X2 comes with the same Dimensity 9000 high-performance chipset as X2 Pro. We're already familiar with the platform. It is based on the world's most advanced 4nm process, although it has some gaps with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in terms of GPU performance, but trust me, 99% of your needs can be met by this chip. Although the Phantom X2 has a very slim and compact body, it maintains a stable frame rate when running heavy games such as Genshin Impact. The metal middle frame efficiently conducts heat so that neither the screen nor the back cover will overheat even after long gaming sessions. What surprised me more is that the Phantom X2 has the same huge 5160 mAh battery as the X2 Pro, which gives the phone excellent endurance. The maximum output of the charger is 45 watts, which seems average, but according to my tracking, it only took 30 minutes for it to charge the battery to over 60%, and a full charge took just under 70 minutes, so I think that's pretty acceptable. The Phantom X2 runs Android 12 based iOS. In our reviews of some of the models in the K-Mon series, I said that Tecno is one of the most well thought of brands because iOS always provides their users with a rich base of services as well as a complete Google service. Maybe you don't need some of the pre-installed apps, but don't worry, they are very non-intrusive. In a few days I used Phantom X2, I received almost no ads from pre-installed apps, and most of them can be uninstalled. The restrained background service strategy also gives the phone a smoother experience as well as faster operational response, which I think is worth learning from many other brands. Well, this is the Phantom X2, a great value flagship phone from Tecno. Most people are probably attracted to the advanced retractable portrait lens on the X2 Pro, but if you're not heavily interested in photography, it's this base model that offers true value. Its build quality, performance, screen, and battery life are all quite competitive at a budget of $500. But in other words, it's a well-balanced phone, and some of these rivals may be more prominent in certain areas or have more attractive prices. Anyway, I'm looking forward to more mid to high-end products from Tecno that target different needs. This is Will from Gizmochina. Thanks for watching. See you next time.